Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new edition of Message of Hope. And today I have the pleasure to be with the Queen of Calm, Clare Downham. Welcome, Clare.
Thank you so much for having me, Martin. It's lovely to be here.
And I'm going to ask you the now infamous question. And it is, how does having this understanding helps you to navigate whatever shows up in your life? Whatever events or lockdown, whatever. How does that help you?
So I think over the last year or so, which is actually the short amount of time I've been around this understanding, it really only was January last year that I even knew it existed. And the transformation that I've seen in myself during the year that could be seen as the most challenging of our entire life, lives as human beings on this planet, um, has been just a gradual falling away, I suppose, of things that I feel I need to bother myself with, to say in my head rather than physically in the world. And the biggest thing I think that's fallen away has been judgment. And I mean that in terms of not just my judgment of the people who come into my life or a part of my life, but more so the judgment of myself
Mm,
and the judgment of my experience. And I have to tell you that this really came to a head um, last Monday, a week ago, when there were some personal things happening in my life to do with my fiance and his ex and the child involved, and the kind of things that happen in
mm,
families all the time when there's relationships and they're a bit fraught. And last Monday evening, there was something really quite big happening in terms of people falling out and people phoning our house and messaging our house and lots of stuff happening, and I suddenly noticed that I was shaking. Now, it was the kind of adrenaline fueled shake that we can sometimes, that we can experience. And
mm,
but the way I connected to that was so different to how I might have connected to it before. So before I would have been, oh God, what's wrong with me? What's that? I need to go. I need to take myself away, and I must go breathe in a corner or meditate or do something or go for a walk. I must be doing something to sort that out to make it stop. And what I noticed was this ability to just observe it, just to be shaking, and knowing that that was coming from adrenaline, and knowing that the adrenaline was coming from some thinking that I had about the situation, and being able to just observe it and go, oh, that's really interesting. My hands are shaking. And I was saying to my fiance and my daughter, my hands are shaking. Isn't that strange? My hands are shaking. And it was almost just not amusing, but just interesting to watch that happening. And then noticing how when we started talking about something else, and obviously my thinking moved on, how it just stopped. And really seeing that I share a lot around, the weather changes without us needing to do anything, that really quite dramatic reaction that my body was having just passed. It went away, and I didn't have to do anything. And that is so profound, because I think it is in the judgment and the doing that I have in the past taken myself away from allowing that natural self-writing system, and knowing that that's working. Like, I'm really seeing it in that moment, really working properly. Remembering that I'm nature and that that does happen naturally without my interference. Here in the UK, the daffodils are all blooming now, and nobody's stood over them shouting at them that they need to get on with it, or they need to change faster or open faster or whatever else. They're just doing it. And when we can, I think for me, seeing that we are that which makes the daffodils come out of the ground and open is so powerful. And I really saw that on Monday, and I would say that was like the culmination of a year of gradually just letting go of stuff that wasn't serving me anymore, but without needing to actually do anything. It's just fallen away all on its own.
That's beautiful. And as Sid said, famously said, if people were not afraid of their experience, that alone will change the world. And that is a beautiful example.
That is my favourite Sid quote because I just think that encompasses it all. I think that is the truth. That is absolutely would transform the world. If everybody, imagine if everybody who struggled with anxiety on a regular basis could watch themselves going through that and go, oh, that's interesting. That's that thing happening again when I've got some uncomfortable thinking that creates adrenaline in my system and I'm having a physical reaction to that. That would, there'd be a lot of people not on medication, and I'm not judging medication, but there would be a lot of people in a much happier place if that happened. Definitely.
And I think also another big part of it is you didn't judge yourself. Because lots of people, when they're new to the 3Ps, they judge themselves for having a reaction. Oh, I know it's my thought. I should have known better or whatever. And there's no need for that judgment. So the fact that you didn't judge yourself, that you knew the homeostasis will come back, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think like, I know I'm judging judgment when I say judgment is the root of all evil, but I do feel like that's the thing. It is the judgment. I was listening to a 3P teacher the other day and she said something like, we're all seeking a nice feeling, aren't we? But I don't think we realise the nice feeling we're seeking is called non-judgment.
Mm.
Like we call it happiness or peace or calm, or I'm the queen of calm, so I'll call it calm. But it's like we don't realise that actually what we're looking for is a place of non-judgment, because then you can go through all the different cycles that the movie of life takes us through without needing to judge any of it as being wrong. It brings a whole different experience to life.
Or more calming experience, more calm experience.
Definitely, definitely a much calmer experience. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Claire,
Oh,
for
thank
your
you.
wisdom and for your sharing. And if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Well, that's a good question because today, as of today, well, hopefully, if the man who's tinkering with my website in the background as we speak gets it sorted, it will be www.claredownham.com.
Can you repeat that?
It's basically my name and it's .com. So
Ah, okay.
claredownham.com. Yeah.
Okay. But that will be easy enough.
That will be easy enough and it'll be a lot simpler for me once that has happened in the background. It's just hopefully happening right now. So fingers crossed.
Well, thank you, Claire.
Oh, thank you. It's been lovely, Martin. Thank you so much for having me.